There's a little blackbird perched outside my window. No, it's not the final song in Songs of Anarchy. It's episode 5 of Blackbird, and we have got The Place I Lie. And we kick off this episode with Jimmy. He's walking through the jail. He's walking, he's doing his best Vince McMahon impersonation. It really, really is. No chance. That is what you've got. No chance in hell. Damn it. And everyone's looking at him, but it turns out everyone's no looking at him. This is simply his own paranoia. It was a very good shot, makes you actually believe that that's what's going on. And I guess in jail, if you are paranoid, you would imagine that everyone in jail would be wanting a piece of you, to kill you, to absolutely lay the smack down. He's brought in by Dr. Aaron Sickerman, but it turns out it's no his regular meeting with him, it's actually by Larry's doctor. And this is weird. It's like she's asking him questions here, and she's like, are you a threat to the mental health of my patients? That's what I hate. Like, Larry's a fucking serial rapist and murderer. And, like, but he needs his mental health. I mean, the guy needs a fucking lethal injection. That's what he needs. Absolutely. What he needs, man, that's what exactly what he needs here. But Larry, here is doctor, trying to press Jimmy a wee bit. Then when we see Larry having a talk with his conversation, not much really happens here. She kind of like refers to Jimmy's like, yeah, he's confident. And then when we see Jimmy and Larry having a conversation later on, kind of talking a wee bit about Larry's brother, Gary, and he doesn't like his brother's wife. She's a stinky bitch. And also, she called the reenactments dress ups. I mean, that's exactly what they are, son. They are dress ups. And then he goes through this entire rant about the education system and like how it's just a way of making money, and that back in the day, there was no such thing as a high school, but now it's all about making money. Then he's talking about how brides back in the day used to be like really young, like 11, 12, and that's exactly what they should be. Right now, of course, they shouldn't be that age because that would be fucking pedophilia. Then Jimmy asks, well, Larry actually kind of snaps and like questions asked her about how young were these girls that you slept with. It's a tense conversation. Of course, Jimmy is forced to lie here in order to get Larry to open up. He's like, yeah, she was pretty young, man. But who knows how this is going to go. I mean, obviously, you do not want to be talking about this, but he's forced into talking about it because he needs to be free. Meanwhile, though, we got Brian and Lauren trying to continue their pursuit of trying to figure out where Larry went. And it leads them in Illinois. They're driving up and doing different roads. They go to a gas station that opened in the spring of '94, but the manager in there believes that they broke ground around the summer of '93, and this seems to be where they think he might have left the bodies, because there's actually nothing going out there, but they do get a tip off that he probably had to go to the auto shop, and we're introduced to a guy by the name of JT. He looks at the picture of Larry that the police give him. He's like, yeah, he was a creepy as old fuck. I really enjoyed that line. But eventually he had to chase Larry off because he made many of the girls feel uncomfortable, including his own daughter, Audrey. Just a weird bastard, Larry here. I mean, of course he's weird, but it's like he was making all the young girls feel uncomfortable, but you didn't do anything until it was your own daughter. I mean, it'd be worse if it was the other way about, but by God, man, this Larry customer is very weird. They then go to Audrey, of course, who's the daughter of JT, and you initially think they're not going to find anything. She talks about the fact he used to give them gifts like lockets and earrings, but she would never accept them. And it turns out he gave her a mountain bike, and this mountain bike turns out to be Jessica Roach's mountain bike. Now, I mean, it is a significant find, but it doesn't really do anything because it's been that long that there'd be like no DNA on the bike, and no proof that it would actually be the same bike. Oh, the serial number, it would be bloody, it would be scratched off. Jimmy is then approached by Vincent Gigante, says, do not bring drugs into this prison, it would be a bad idea. Jimmy then tells him, I thought about it, but I changed my mind. But at this point, Gigante is suspicious of him. Who knows? All of his contacts have never actually seen Jimmy in person, but it's all hearsay. So you're led to believe that, I'm going to assume the guard caught her, told Vincent Gigante here that, yeah, this guy's a load of shit. He's all play. He's in here. He's a snitch, and his character's no merit to be. It's made up, and I think that's exactly what Carter's done. To be perfectly honest, I'm going to assume that's what's happened here. It can really only be the explanation that I can see happening. But you see like Gigante and Carter in conversation, and then is this meaning Jimmy's days are numbered? He looks more vulnerable now, and with the mob and a lot of people inside figuring out that he is in fact a rat, then this could be an absolute disaster class. It really, really could be a disaster class. But then we get the final scene of the episode with Larry and Jimmy in the woodwork arena. Larry points out though to Jimmy that he's never actually raped anyone. He slept with different girls. Then he brings up Jessica Roach. She was nice at first. She had a mountain bike and ended up getting a flat tire. I gave her a lift. He convinced, and I was convinced the girl was happy to just chat and take a ride. And then he likens her to a rabid squirrel. She was normal, but then I had to knock her out. I had to knock her out, damn it. I had to knock her out. He ragged her, of course, and then put her into the back of the van, where she did scratch him deeply. He says he doesn't remember having sex with her, but when he woke up, both of their clothes were off. So, I mean, you can pretty much point to this. And then he says that she was crying for her mommy. Mommy, mommy. Now, his hearing's coming up. Larry thinks he's going to get away with this. Jessica's Roach bike was found, of course, with Audrey. But it's not enough evidence to keep him behind bars, which I think's fucking ridiculous. I really think it is. And you always hear about in prison that these sort of guys end up getting killed. Like, why has this guy not been killed? Like, why has no one stepped up in jail to lay the smack into this guy? I'm not too sure. But then Jimmy goes back to his prison cell crying, obviously, about hearing what this sick fuck did. And it is sick. Make no mistake about it. It is. He is that one step closer to maybe getting the truth here. Just needs to get him talking a wee bit more. Next episode, we're going to whip out the map for Dora the Explorer, and we're going to go on a magical adventure. But for this episode, guys, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 here for the Blackbird season. Well, I'll say season 1, episode 5. There only is 6 episodes of this. And that's us moving on to the series finale, the mini-series finale, whatever you really want to call it. It's a 7 out of 10, guys. I think this show's just hovering around a 6 and a 7. I actually thought the finale was a bit weak, but I guess we'll talk about that more in detail in that episode. But for me, it was. But again, if you're following a true story, then how, realistic, how entertaining can it be? You can add certain elements in, but you can't change everything, or else it ruins it for me. But anyway, until next time, 7 out of 10, and peace. Fog Entertainment, signing out.